comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I joined a gym here a couple of weeks ago because I just need to get out of the fucking house. No one respects anything you do if you do it in the house. Exercise, work, podcasting, anything. No one gives a fuck if you do it in the house. If you do all those things in the same room, if you exercise, work, and podcast in the same room, in the house, people just get angry at you for not leaving the bedroom all day. That's why as soon as possible, I'm getting an office and a studio. Then I can be like, hey, I'm just going to the office, then I'm going to do a little workout at the gym, and on the way back, I need to stop in at the studio and do a fucking podcast. So I probably won't be back till night. And everyone will be like, oh, okay, he's such a fucking hard worker. If you roll out of bed, put some underwear on, and then don't put pants on for most of the day, but you still do everything, you get everything done, it's just in your jocks, no one respects it. I don't know why, but you have to put pants on for people to respect you. It's just more cultural bullshit. But I can't afford an office or a studio at the moment, so I had to join a gym to get the fuck out of my house. Because it doesn't matter what the fuck I say, I will always get interrupted. I'll be halfway through a fucking goblet squat and my kid will burst in and he'll be like, hey, can me and Vic Rat have a fucking bubble gum? His name's really Vic Rat, but I call him Vic Rat. Either he will burst in or I'll hear my wife screaming, are you done yet? Can you come look after the baby? I'm like, Jesus Christ, I need to find a fucking way out. So I joined the gym. I just made some bullshit up like I don't have enough equipment here. I need to do some like fucking tricep kickbacks or something. So I joined this gym basically just to get out of the house. The workouts that I do are actually fucking faster at the gym than they were at home because I'm not getting interrupted there. But I'm also not leaving the gym early either. I'm really stretching the old gym time out. Anyway, there's two good things about Indian gyms. One is there's not that many enthusiastic fucking exercises in India, so the gym is basically empty most of the time. And two, the very few people that do come to the gym are fat. Everyone I've seen in that fucking gym is fat. The people exercising are fat, the personal trainers are fat, the people sanitizing the machines are fat. Every single person in the goddamn gym is fat. I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in there. I look like I'm on roids compared to everyone in there, even the personal trainers. But not only are the people fat in there, they've got no idea what they're doing. I have very little idea of what I'm doing, but it's just fucking chaos in there. The Indians don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, you know those YouTube videos or Instagram things, like gym fails, where some retard is just on the machine backwards, just not even doing the fucking exercise properly? That is all it is in that gym. There was a fat uncle in there today, and his warm-up today was, he must have been doing some variation of interval training because it went from a very slow walk on the treadmill to a slightly faster walk. He was just cruising. Then he moves over to the machines, and it's just fucking chaos. He went to basically every machine in the whole entire gym, pumped out like 6 super fast reps of like the lightest weight he could do, and then just moved on to the next machine. He'd clocked the gym. He did every exercise in there, and he didn't even break a sweat. That's what it's like every day at this fucking gym. But fuck me, it's a good excuse to get out of the house. All these things I've just shat on over the years, like gym, work, school, these are all the best reasons to leave the house. I suppose it wouldn't be so bad, but the schools are shut, my wife's still on maternity leave, there's a baby, and the house is packed. So I'll be spending a lot more time at the gym, I can tell you that right now. Anyway, you know what day it is, you know what time it is. It is Friday, and it's fucked up Friday time. If you would like to send in your own fucked up Friday story, email me on boylecomedy@gmail.com or send it into the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon. You're helping out Le Boyle. And we aren't too far away now from starting the new podcast. We're about 30 subscribers away now. So get your fucking bangers in. Get those banging stories in, because we need some gold minted fucked up Fridays for when this new podcast starts. I've already got a few gold minted ones in the bank, but we need more. So send them in. Also, in the coming days, for the people on the Patreon, I'm going to post like a survey. I'm going to tell you what I think I might do with this new podcast, and I'll be open to your suggestions. This is just for the people on the Patreon. You can give me some ideas, and maybe I might even listen to some of them. But I would like to get some input on what you think the new podcast should be. So if you want to throw in your fucking 2 cents as well, join the Patreon. The links are in my social media bios, or just message me directly and I'll send you the fucking link myself. So let's get to this week's Fucked Up Friday. I've got a little bit of time up my sleeve, so this is going to be a double-header today. So the first Fucked Up Friday story this week is all the way from San Diego, USA. And I'm not too sure if he wants his name read out, so it is from my man, RM. Anyway, let's go. Back in 2007, we had a solid group of friends here in San Diego, about 7 guys and their girlfriends. The girls were super close and we all went out most weekends and got fucked up. One weekend close to Halloween, my girl had dinner plans with her sister. So being that it was the World Series, I took advantage of her absence and got absolutely hammered with the guys. We ended up at a house party where people were dressed for Halloween. I was smoking a cig outside when a sexy nurse asked to bum a cig. We chatted, and shortly thereafter I was fucking her against the trash bin in the alley. You scumbag, but fuck, that sounds good. You absolute piece of shit, but also a legend. You fucking rat dog champion. That's a tough situation to be in. You're at a house party, you're drunk, you're having a dart, and some sexy nurse comes up to you and offers to fuck you next to a bin. Under normal circumstances, you'd be like, no fucking way. But it's a bin in the alley. How can you say no? So anyway, let's move on. We came back into the party only to see all of my friends' girlfriends inside. Fuck. I tried to play it cool, but she was hammered and literally announced, I fucked this guy outside. Oh. I bet you were like, can you just shut the fuck up? Just shut up. I fucked this guy next to a dumpster. Woo! Nurses are fucking wild. Beware of nurses. And I know there's heaps of nurses listening to this shit. You're fucking mental. I don't even think she was a nurse, actually. She was just dressed up as a nurse for Halloween. Anyway, she announced, I fucked this guy outside. The girls looked at me in horror and basically said to either tell my girl or they would do it for me. Fucking brutal. Long story short, I found myself throwing my clothes in a trash bag and moved out the next morning. All the girlfriends absolutely hated me, so I had to deal with that for a long time. Fast forward to 2013, all the guys married those girls, and I was in a long-term relationship. The last of the guys was getting married, and we were on a final bachelor party in Vegas. The wives were on high alert, knowing that I'd be there. It was a chance for me to show the group that I've matured and would not be a problem. I cycled steroids. I cycled steroids in preparation for the pool scene. Jesus Christ. It must have hurt your girlfriend at the time that you cheated on her with a girl in the alley, but in the long run, it's really worked out good for her. So I had to quit the booze and pills while on the cycle. My tolerance was shit after 6 weeks off, so I managed to get sloppy fast. We raged at Wet Republic all day. I managed not to do anything stupid. We got cleaned up and ready for a night at the Spearmint Rhino, the best strip club in Vegas. While we waited for the limo van we ordered, a tweaker asked me if I wanted to buy weed. I said no, but could really use some blow. He said he could help, and as the limo pulled up, I told him to hop in so we didn't do the deal out in front of the casino. My crew was not feeling our newest member, and with good reason. The tweaker was shady as fuck. He pulled out little baggies from his boxes and said 50 a gram. As my crew nervously watched, I said I needed to take a test bump before buying. So he racked up 2 key bumps, we both took them, and I was like, sure, here's 50. As we approached the club, he got even more tweaky, and then all of a sudden, he stands up and pukes in the mini bar ice tub. My friends freaked, and we all piled into the club as soon as we got there, never knowing how it played out between the driver and the tweaker. Of course, this story made it back to the girls that already hated me, because a few of my friends are fucking pussies and couldn't keep their mouths shut. Fuck those guys and their wives. You have matured. You took 6 weeks off the booze and the pills so you could cycle some steroids, so you could look good for them. My follow-up question... My follow-up question was the nurse worth it? And he's like, fuck yeah, man. She was so hot. She was so hot. Well, thank you for the story. And let's move on to the next one. Okay, this next story was sent in by my man Katsy over there in the UK. This is almost a year old, this story, and I'm finally getting around to it. Sorry, Katsy, for the fucking delay. Anyway, here we go. I used to work at a skate park in the Netherlands. It was pretty big with a bar, stage, DJ booth, rehearsal studio, and a backstage. This all happened 9 years ago. I was 27 years old. There was a new boss taking over the place, a businessman, and he decided to come chill with us one evening and have some beers at the skate park. I wasn't working that night, so I joined in. He kept buying, I kept drinking. When he loosened up a bit, he told me that everyone working there said what a hard worker I am and all. It made me quite uncomfortable as I can't really handle compliments. At that point, I was starting to get pretty pissed and thought it's time to nip out for a doobie. That was the point of no return. After that, we had some shots, another doobie, more shots. I pretty much blacked out. Now, you need to know at the time that I didn't have my own place. That shocks me, Katsy. I had you pegged as someone living in a mansion. I am completely blown away that you were homeless. At the time, I didn't have my own place, so I was actually sleeping at the skate park on a couch backstage. But all this was kind of unofficial, and the new boss didn't know. So when I came to, I was luckily on the couch backstage, but quickly realized that I'd fully pissed myself. The only dry clothes on me was my shirt, so I just slipped into my shirt like it was underwear. I was on my way to get some fresh clothes when I found myself face to face with the big boss, who just 12 hours ago told me how impressed he was with me working there. We were both in shock, and he just walked right back to the bar area. I got some clothes on, freshened up, and followed to the bar, only to find out that I slightly trashed the place. Turned the tables on the floor, chairs thrown all around, next to broken beer bottles and shit. At first, he thought there was a break-in. The damage was minimal, but it wasn't a good impression. I tried to explain my way out of it by saying I usually don't drink much. Fortunately, my mates had my back and I didn't get fired that time. The skate park was called Area 51. It's a BMX park now, so fuck him. All right, Katsy, thanks for sending in that story. It could have used a stabbing or something towards the end there, but all's well that ends well, eh? All right, that will do for tonight. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see ya the fuck later.